The Florida Thoroughbred Breeders and Owners Association and the Florida Department of Agriculture present Thoroughbred Week with John Henderson. Also presented by Adena Springs South, Daily Racing Form, Double Diamond Farm, Jerry Parks Insurance Group, Ocala Breeders Sales Company, Valerie Daly of Showcase Properties, and Woodford Thoroughbreds.
Hello everyone and welcome to Thoroughbred Week, featuring a big holiday weekend for trainer Chad Brown with an undefeated winner of the Grade 1 Belmont Oaks and a two-time winner of the Grade 1 United Nations Stakes. We begin with the Grade 3 Belmont Sprint Championship. Private Zone, the 1-5 favorite, Larry Comas picks up the call.
Private Zone carries his speed around the far turn of 44 3/2 mile for Private Zone, who turns for home in the Belmont Sprint Championship with a 2.5 length lead. Stalwalking Dude on the outside is second and clearly now is third. Martin Pedrosa shaking the reins at Private Zone. They're 3 lengths in front. Stalwalking Dude and Clearly Now are battling for second as they come past the 16th pole. It will be Private Zone in a wire-to-wire score in the Belmont Sprint Championship.
Odds-on favorite Private Zone by Adena Springs stallion Macho Uno takes it by 3 1/4 lengths over Clearly Now, a 1-2 finish by Keeneland Sells graduates. The winner under a high weight of 124 pounds and Martin Pedrosa in 122 2. A 4.5 length winner of the Grade 2 Churchill Downs Stakes, the 3-time Grade 1 winner was coming off a runner-up finish in the Grade 1 Metropolitan Handicap. The 6-year-old gelding was bred in Ontario by Adena Springs. It was a $15,000 Keeneland September yearling from the Adena Springs consignment. Private Zone has earned $2,233,000 for Good Friend Stable. Jorge Navarro took over as trainer for the current campaign. Private Zone paid $270 to win and is the Malone's favorite of the week, presented by Malone's, Lexington's favorite steakhouse. To Gulfstream Park for 2 races in the Breeders' Cup Win and You're In Challenge Series, beginning with the Grade 2 Smile Sprint Stakes. Champion Work All Week, the 3-5 favorite, Peter Aiello has the call.
On top, Favorite Tail and Edgar Zayas through the opening quarter in 21-4. Wildcat Red stays with him second. Work All Week perched off the speed third, and he gets a bit closer now at the 5/16. 2 lengths more to the inside, Sing Another Song, followed by Alsvid and Grand Shores, then Falling Sky, and they run to the top of the stretch. There's a 1/4 mile left to go in the Smile Sprint, and Favorite Tail cuts the corner and opens a 1.5 length lead. Work All Week trying to get after him second. Wildcat Red between horses third. Alsvid now fourth, and Grand Shores coming up the inside. There's an 1/8 mile to go, and Favorite Tail is finding more on the top. It's Favorite Tail who sparkles in the Smile, runs away and wins it by 3.5.
7-1 Favorite Tail, the winner officially by 4 1/4 over Work All Week. Edgar Zayas up in 108-4. Favorite Tail gets his first victory since taking the Grade 3 Gallant Bob Stakes last September. The Pennsylvania-bred 4-year-old gelding by Tail of the Cat was coming off a troubled 5th place finish in the Grade 2 True North Stakes. Favorite Tail has earned $551,000 for PJG Stable. Guadalupe Preciado trains the winner. Derby Dance tag in Runaway and Hide, the best hunted stud by leading sire City Zip. Runaway and Hide has sired 14% stakes horses to date, including recent Grade 2 Eclipse winner Are You Kidding Me? Look for progeny hitting the sales arenas later this year from Runaway and Hyde's biggest and best book so far at stud. Sprinting fillies and mares at Gulfstream Park in the Grade 2 Princess Rooney Stakes. Mary Meadow, the 7-5 favorite. Once again, here's Peter Aiello.
They moved past the half-mile pole and Flutterby went through the opening quarter in 22 seconds flat. Our free roll is 3 wide from between them, Mary Meadow. These 3 have pulled 5 clear of Naval Command, who's now 4th. To the inside and Tea Time from 5th, then Sweet Basil and Little Michelle. Kiss to Remember, asked to go by Espinoza, 3rd last. 2nd last, Nesso. The trailer Failing Be Dancing, and Flutterby is still in front. They went through the opening half-mile with Flutterby there in 44-1. Here's Mary Meadow moving up on the outside, and these 2 square off with 3/16 to go. Flutterby set down for the drive by Luca Panici, trying to spring the upset, but Mary Meadow and Javier Castellano are right alongside. Now it's Mary Meadow moving clear. Flutterby is valiant, but only second best to the 2015 Princess Rooney winner, Mary Meadow.
Mary Meadow outfinishes Flutterby by a length and 3/4. The 3rd consecutive stakes victory on the card for Javier Castellano, 6 furlongs in 109-1. Mary Meadow was an 8.5 length winner of the Grade 3 Hurricane Birdie Stakes in her seasonal debut. But the Mark Henny trainee had a 3-race winning streak halted by her last place finish in the Grade 2 Inside Information Stakes. The 5-year-old mare by Henny Hughes was bred in Kentucky by her owners, William Parsons Jr. and David Howe. Mary Meadow has earned nearly $843,000. More racing coming up, but first here's the upcoming schedule in the Breeders' Cup Win and You're In Challenge Series.
The advantages of nominating and winning a Breeders' Cup Challenge Series race are clear. For more information about the Breeders' Cup Challenge Series and nominations, go to members.breederscup.com, because the best is yet to come.
First Samurai is America's best sire son of champion Giants Causeway. Already the sire of a champion, First Samurai has Grade 1 winners on both coasts,
But it will be Justin Phillip to win the Vanderbilt by 2.
as well as graded stakes horses around the country.
And Lee has won the Dawn under Joel Rosario.
Get Happy Mister in front. Get Happy Mister has won it.
First Samurai, a proven sire of quality at Claiborne Farm.
Sunny Florida produces champions from start to finish. Florida produced Breeders' Cup Classic winner Mucho Macho Man. Florida is one of the premier breeding regions and training centers in the world. We are a leading prep center for Derby winners and contenders. We boast of premier veterinary research centers and 3 major racetracks. Florida has the largest 2-year-old in training sale in the world, selling horses 6 times annually. Florida is proudly represented by the Florida Thoroughbred Breeders and Owners Association. Sunny Florida produces champions from start to finish.
Combining the legacy of Kentucky with the fertile breeding ground of Florida, Woodford Thoroughbreds proudly introduces in 2014 Warfront's best son to standard stud, multiple graded stakes winner, Sold Out, and juvenile Grade 1 winner of the Hopeful Stakes, Currency Swap. Woodford Thoroughbreds, where a new generation of horse racing excellence has begun.
A Florida bred. He is not just a racehorse. He is our heart. He is our toil and sweat. He soaks up the bright sunshine, becoming mighty and strong. He feasts on our abundant grass and drinks our mineral-rich water. He is a way of life, our champion. His excellence brings us chills as he competes, inspiring us to greatness. He is our purpose, our soul. He is a Florida bred.
Welcome back to Thoroughbred Week with graded stakes action for 3-year-olds just ahead in this segment. We begin with older horses at Belmont Park in the Grade 2 Suburban Handicap. Toneless, the 2-5 favorite, Larry Comas has the call.
It is Street Babe and Coach Inge, and Tonalist moves now as they round the far turn, and Mylute goes right with them. And now these 4 are right together as they round the far turn. Coach Inge, Tonalist, and Mylute, 3/4 and 110 flat, and they're across the track. And FNX is just behind them, running 4th on the inside and going well. And then it's neck and neck in 5th, and Street Babe is dropped back to last. And now Coach Inge carries his speed to the top of the stretch. He had that early battle with Street Babe, and he's clear as they turn for home. FNX comes off the rail for his run. Tonalist is full out in 3rd, and they're into the stretch, and it's Coach Inge into the final furlong. He's got 1/8 of a mile to go. FNX and Tonalist are running after him. Coach Inge fully extended. FNX and Tonalist are coming up on the outside. Here's Tonalist and FNX, and they'll battle it out to the wire in the Suburban. It's a head-bobbing finish that is very close.
6-1, FNX holds off Toneless by a head, while in receipt of 6 pounds from the odds-on favorite, the New York bred under 117 pounds, and Junior Alvarado in 201 and 2, a 107 buyer speed figure. FNX won the Grade 3 Excelsior Stakes in April, but the Jimmy Jerkins trainee was eased after having equipment problems in his last start, the Grade 2 Brooklyn. The 4-year-old colt by Mineshaft was bred in New York by Dr. Russell S. Cohen. FNX has earned $782,000 for Tri-Bone Stable. Time for 3-year-old stakes action presented by BC2A Pace. Reduce the likelihood of tying up with BC2A Pace. Breeders' Cup Juvenile winner Texas Red made his return to the races as the 9-5 favorite in the Grade 3 Dwyer Stakes. Once again, here's Larry Comas.
Hollywood Angel leading Speightster around the far turn, a 46 1/2 mile. Hollywood Angel a half length in front. Speightster to the outside, second Tommy Macho, third Blofeld, fourth on the inside. Then it's Bridget's Big Levy. Texas Red, still plenty of work to do, now being urged to go 5 lengths off the lead and smooth transition. It is Hollywood Angel coming toward the top of the stretch in front. And now, here comes Texas Red on the far outside, and he is charging up, and they're into the stretch. Texas Red coming after Speightster on the inside, and Tommy Macho, Hollywood Angel's giving way. A furlong to run. Speightster's in front. On the outside is Texas Red. Speightster, a 2-length lead. Texas Red, second best as they come down to the line, and here is one talented colt named Speightster.
2-1 second choice Speightster by Windstar Farm stallion Speightstown and Racing for Windstar Farm defeats Texas Red by 2.5 lengths. Jose Lescano aboard in 135 flat. The first winner of the Dwyer for Hall of Fame trainer Bill Mott, Speightster is undefeated in 3 starts. A 7-length maiden winner at Keeneland, the Kentucky-bred colt won an entry-level allowance by 3.5 lengths at Belmont Park. Speightster has earned nearly $364,000 racing for his breeder, Windstar Farm. For all your insurance needs, a specialist at Jerry Parks Insurance Group is there to assist you with 40 years of exceptional coverage. Look for Jerry Parks, John Cassie, or Kelly Weeks at the upcoming yearling sales. Cross country for the Grade 2 Los Alamitos Derby. Kentucky and the 2-5 favorite, Michael Rona picks up the call.
Heading into the turn, approaching the 3/8 pole, and Kentuckian is the leader by a half length to Gimme Dilute, who's moving closer again. In fact, he's quickly on terms with Kentuckian. It's Gimme Dilute taking on Kentuckian in earnest at the top of the stretch. Kentuckian with a quarter mile longer to run than ever before, and that quarter mile is in a straight line as he enters the testing home stretch of Los Alamitos, and he's been found wanting as Gimme Dilute draws clear of him, and Prospect Park is in relentless pursuit. It's Prospect Park trying to gun down Gimme Dilute. They're clear of Kentuckian. Gimme Dilute has the lead in the Los Alamitos Derby from Prospect Park. Gimme Dilute clinging on desperately. Prospect Park diving at him. Camera. Gimme Dilute a nose to Prospect Park.
3-1 Gimme Dilute holds off Prospect Park by a nose with odds-on favorite Kentucky in a distant third. Martin Garcia aboard in 147 flat. The Bob Baffert trainee was last seen defeating Prospect Park by a neck in the Grade 3 Affirm Stakes. The colt by Midnight Loot was bred in California by his owners, Mike Pegram, Carl Watson, and Paul Whiteman. Gimme Dilute has earned $457,000. New for 2016 to Spendthrift Farm is Meadow Count, a graded stakes winner on the main track at Keeneland and multiple Grade 1 placed at 3. Meadow Count finished only a length behind Toneless in the Grade 1 Belmont Stakes. Perhaps the last top son of Dynaformer to enter stud, Meadow Count retires sound with earnings of over $480,000. Now available for your inspection at Spendthrift Farm.
Eye-popping 108 and 4. Flat out in front. Flat out is still in front. Flat out by 3 coming down to the wire. Flat out wins, and here comes Flat out. Who's full out? It's Flat out to win the Cigar Mile.
It's Daredevil with a 4-length lead. And Daredevil with a sparkling performance here in the Champagne.
Since 1894, Daily Racing Form has told the story of thoroughbred racing. 120 years later, Daily Racing Form continues to tell the story and now bridges the worlds of racing and breeding. Presenting the new DRF sire-powered results tool. Access race results by sire, name of horse, track, date, age, type of race, distance, and surface. Available only at DRF Breeding.
I've got a to-do list and 5 acres of fresh air.
Top 3 tools: hammer, screwdriver, front loader.
Happiness is a drive-over mower deck.
A John Deere dealer can teach tractors to anybody.
In the right hands, an iMatch Quick Hitch could probably cure most of the world's problems.
That's how we run, and nothing runs like a Deere. John Deere is a proud sponsor of the Breeders' Cup.
Sunny Florida produces champions from start to finish. Florida produced Breeders' Cup Classic winner Mucho Macho Man. Florida is one of the premier breeding regions and training centers in the world. We are a leading prep center for Derby winners and contenders. We boast of premier veterinary research centers and 3 major racetracks. Florida has the largest 2-year-old in training sale in the world, selling horses 6 times annually. Florida is proudly represented by the Florida Thoroughbred Breeders and Owners Association. Sunny Florida produces champions from start to finish.
Welcome back to Thoroughbred Week with turf 3-year-olds just ahead in the segment. We begin with Canadian-bred 3-year-olds over the Woodbine Poly Track in the 156th running of the Queen's Plate. Plate trial winner Danish Dynaformer at 3-1, a slight favorite over Shaman Ghost. Robert Geller picks up the call.
The half mile was 45-3, and they're saying, let's see if we can go for broke here. Sweet Grass Creek, 6 in front. Academic, she's struggling a little bit. On the inside is Alt. Bear at Last is next. Starting a nice run is Billy Stars, come out 4 wide. Up the inside, Shaman Ghost, then Breaking Lucky. Danish Dynaformer coming home now. Portree got squeezed for room, and Amise flat of the outside. Sweetgrass Creek hit the wall, and Billy Star's gone to the front. It's Billy Star, 1 in front. Up in second placing, Breaking Lucky, but here comes Danish Dynaformer. Danish Dynaformer right around the outside as they head for home in the Queen's Plate. Conquest Boogaloo's running on, and Shaman Ghost, but it's Danish Dynaformer and Billy Star. Shaman Ghost down the outside, and coming home well is still Conquest Boogaloo. Shaman Ghost chasing Danish Dynaformer. Danish Dynaformer, Shaman Ghost, and Shaman Ghost takes the Queen's Plate a length.
Shaman Ghost by Adena Spring Stallion Ghost Sapper takes it officially by a length and a quarter over Danish Dynaformer. Rafael Hernandez up in 2:03 The 4th consecutive victory for Shaman Ghost, who most recently defeated Danish Dynaformer in the Grade 3 Marine Stakes. The colt was bred in Ontario by Adena Springs and is the first Queen's Plate winner for trainer Brian Lynch. The 3rd Queen's Plate winner for Stronach Stables, Shaman Ghost has earned $611,000. Rafael Hernandez with the Safe Ride of the Week, presented by Sally Horse Fans, the safest way to the winner's circle. To Belmont Park for the Grade 1 Belmont Derby. Bolo, the 2-1 favorite. Larry Comas has the call.
They went 50-1 for the first half mile. So it's Bolo who heads them up the backstretch, 3/4 of a length ahead of Granny's Kitten. And then comes Force the Pass, who's 3rd and racing right at the hedge. Takeover Target and Startup Nation are 3.5 lengths off the lead, and they're joined by Candal on the inside. Postulation's got 5.5 lengths to make up, and then it's Divisidero beginning to gain ground outside of Closing Bell. Bolo has run 3/4 in 1:15-1 and runs into the far turn in front. The rails open for Force the Pass. And Force the Pass and Joel Rosario come on through, and they take the lead from Bolo on the far turn. Granny's Kitten is 3rd to the outside. Extreme outside, Startup Nation is next. It's a wide run for Divisidero. He's got Force the Pass to catch as they turn for home. Force the Pass coming into the final furlong in front. Kandal is 2 lengths behind in second, and then it's Granny's Kitten. And then comes Startup Nation. Not today for Divisidero. It is Force the Pass. Oh, he is running away from the field. Force the Pass in the Belmont Derby.
10-1 Force the Pass by Windstar Farm Stallion Spikestown, an easy 3 3/4 length winner over Candal. Joel Rosario up in 2:01 flat. Force the Pass slightly overlooked in the wagering, despite sporting a record of 3 wins and 2 seconds in 5 previous starts. The Alan Goldberg trainee stretching out after taking the Grade 3 Pin Mile. The colt was bred in Kentucky by Colts Neck Stables. Forced to Pass has earned $1,030,000 for Richard Santulli. DRF Breeding, home of the new sire-powered results tool. Access race results from North America. Visit drf.com/breeding for additional information. 3-year-old fillies in the Grade 1 Belmont Oaks. Undefeated Lady Eli, the 4-5 favorite. Once again, here's Larry Comas.
Again, it's been a hot pace set by Lady Zuzu, who's out here by 2. And Pine Needles, who flew out of the gate, is back running in second after a 47 1/2 mile. So the pace is moderated somewhat, but it's still quick. Gypsy Judy is next. On the far outside comes Daring Duchess in 4th position. Olorda is 5th at this stage of the race. Then it's Outstanding Sentiero Italia, Spanish Queen to the inside. Irad Ortiz has the heavy favorite Lady Eli, 7 off the lead, and racing outside of its only acting dad as they move for the far turn. Lady Zuzu in front. 3/4 was in 1:11 3, and she's 3/4 of a length ahead of Pine Needles as they round the far turn. These two are just clear of Olorda, who's 3rd to the inside of Gypsy Judy. Sentiero Italia's right there, along with Daring Duchess, and Lady Eli is going to take the overland route, and here she comes on the far outside. Lady Eli still in hand, and here she comes, and she has bursted to the lead as they move into the final furlong. Outstanding is chasing her home. It's only acting dad and Consumer Credit, but they're all not going to get the undefeated Lady Eli. She crushed them.
Odds-on favorite Lady Eli rolls home by 2 3/4 lengths over 35-1. It's only acting dad. Irad Ortiz Jr. aboard the 2-time Keeneland Sales graduate in 1:59 nearly 2 seconds faster than the Belmont Derby. Lady Eli is perfect in 6 starts, including the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Fillies Turf last fall. This victory earns the Chad Brown trainee an automatic berth in this year's Breeders' Cup Filly and Mare Turf. The filly by Divine Park was bred in Kentucky by Runnymede Farm and Catesby Clay. A $160,000 Keeneland 2-year-old purchase by Sheep Pond Partners, Lady Eli has earned nearly $1.5 million. The filly was consigned by Runnymede Farm to the 2013 Keeneland September yearling sale, where she was purchased originally by Bradley Thoroughbreds for $160,000. Undefeated Grade 1 Belmont Oaks winner Lady Eli, the Keeneland Sales graduate of the week. Coming up, the weekend fireworks continue for Chad Brown.
Goes 140 at 130.40. You get 40, you get 140, you get 130.
Down over the down 87, 90 down, down over the down 90 grand bear. 890,000 down over the down 90. 85 on a minute, now 85. What do you think? 5 here. 85,000 down over the down 5 on the minute.
People want to know what's so special about Ocala. Centrally located between Orlando and Jacksonville, Ocala's equine industry has many incentives to breed, raise, and train thoroughbreds. Discover Ocala. Reach out to Showcase Properties and we'll show you why we love where we live.
I've got a to-do list and 5 acres of fresh air.
Top 3 tools: hammer, screwdriver, front loader.
Happiness is a drive over mower deck.
A John Deere dealer can teach tractors to anybody.
In the right hands, an iMatch quick hitch could probably cure most of the world's problems.
That's how we run, and nothing runs like a Deere. John Deere is a proud sponsor of the Breeders' Cup.
Here comes Capo Bastone with a bold late rally. Can Capo Bastone do it here? Yes, he did!
Capo Bastoni with a tough customer and awfully fast on the inside. It's going to be Capo Bastone.
Capo Bastone, Grade 1 placed in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile at 2, and a Grade 1 winner at Saratoga at 3. New for 2015 at Adena Springs South.
With more graduates winning at racing's highest level each year than any other sales company, Graded Stakes glory starts at Keeneland. The Keeneland September Yearling Sale is where the world gathers to find the next great thoroughbred athletes. The ones that will take them from the sales ring to the winner's circle. The Keeneland September Yearling Sale, September 14th through the 26th. If you're looking for Graded Stakes glory, why buy anywhere else?
The feature race of the week is presented by Keeneland, investing in racing's future since 1936. To Monmouth Park for the Grade 1 United Nations Stakes. Champion Main Sequence, the 8-5 favorite. Here's the call by Frank Miramati.
And they're off in the United Nations. Ashley Love Sugar goes straight to the front, and Shining Copper, the big long shot's a bit quicker and now takes the lead. Sycamore Lane third, and Divine Oath comes away in fourth. Then it's Big Blue Kitten fifth through the opening furlong, about 7 or 8 lengths off his fellow color bearer. Outside of him comes Imagining. Twilight Eclipse is on the rail with 9 lengths to make up. Then it's Main Sequence and Slumbers at the back. Shining Copper ensures an honest pace as he opens up 4 lengths into the stretch for the first time. Gary Stevens and Ashley Love Sugar just galloping along by himself in second. Then comes Divine Oath in third, at the rails Sycamore Lane fourth. Twilight Eclipse is a joint fifth, and now Imagining moves up outside of him. They are followed by Big Blue Kitten. Main Sequence and Slumber is about 18 lengths off front-running Shining Copper, who has opened it up now to lead by 8 lengths. Ashley Love Sugar is in second. Sycamore Lane third. He's just in front of Divine Oath, racing in between horses, Imagining 3 wide, 12 lengths off this long shot leader. Big Blue Kitten is side by side with Twilight Eclipse, then Slumber and Main Sequence. Shining Copper continuing this ambitious run with a double-digit lead. Ashley Love Sugar, Sycamore Lane, and Imagining are second, third, and fourth. Divine Oath is just behind them. Twilight Eclipse is asked to get closer, responding just a bit. Big Blue Kitten has the red cap as they're swarming in on Shining Copper into the far turn. Main Sequence and Slumber have been at the back throughout. Shining Copper's lead diminishing, it's down to 2 lengths. Ashley Love Sugar, Imagining. Big Blue Kitten ranging into contention. He's only 4 lengths off the leader, swinging to the outside as Twilight Eclipse saves every bit of ground, trying to get through the narrowest of openings. From the back of the pack, Main Sequence still has 8 to make up. They're a furlong from the finish, and Big Blue Kitten lets out an electrifying rally to take command. Shining Copper running a valiant race in second. Twilight Eclipse, and then Slumber. Big Blue Kitten wins the United Nations for the second time in 3 years.
Big Blue Kitten scores by 1.5 lengths over Slumber for a 1-2 finish by Chad Brown trainees. Joe Bravo aboard in 2:11-4. Winner of the 2013 United Nations Stakes, Big Blue Kitten was last seen finishing second to Slumber in the Grade 1 Manhattan Stakes. The 7-year-old Ridgeling by Kitten's Joy was bred in Kentucky by his owners, Kenneth and Sarah Ramsey. Big Blue Kitten has earned $2,090,000. We'll see you next week here on Thoroughbred Week.
Thoroughbred Week is presented by the Florida Thoroughbred Breeders and Owners Association and the Florida Department of Agriculture. Online at tbredweek.com.